everybody. Another episode of Go Well with Sharon, and today we are visiting Krag Lohry at his home in Walmer, Port Elizabeth, and we are going to talk about gardening, growing your own food, healing yourself, and also about how you can get growing. Krag, welcome to Go Well with Sharon. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you. Thanks for visiting.
It's an absolute pleasure. Your garden is beautiful, by the way. Love it. Now, Krag, you are an avid gardener, as we can see. Where did the passion come from? How did you get into gardening?
I came in from the fact that I was actually tired of being sick and tired. I was flat on my back with diabetes, and I cured myself. That was in about 2005. I went on a high-fat diet, low-carb, high-fat, as you know, you can look that up. And it worked. And so from there, I had to get in and start growing my own food. That's what I saw as the next step of the process.
That is absolutely amazing. You know, we see so often people just opt to pop a pill, but you went the opposite route. You went the natural route, and for that, we absolutely commend you. Now, can you just tell us a bit how you went about doing that, how you got into it, and just talk us through the process, because I believe it wasn't all, like the honeymoon phase of gardening. So can you just elaborate on that for us?
Well, popping a pill it's absolutely the quick fix. But this is a lifestyle change where you have incremental changes, little bit by little bit by little bit. But at the end of that process, you are resilient. You are alive. You know you're alive. You're not on somebody's medication that's keeping you half alive. So this is living.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can see there's lots of living happening around here. And by the way, you look amazing. You definitely do look alive. Now, in terms of the whole gardening spiel, off camera, we were talking about how it was a bit of trial and error for you, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would want to start this, but they don't even know where to start. So if you can maybe just tell us a little bit about how you do it.
Well, okay, so during a 7-year process now, I've been at it for 7 years. The last 2 years, we started a permaculture group because I knew I had to involve the community. And so on our permaculture group, I have now put up files where I suggest certain plants so people can get a quick start and 100% chance that certain food plant will produce. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to make it very easy for people to enter in, because it is very difficult in certain areas to grow your own food.
Absolutely. I know for sure I've tried and failed many times myself. It is a bit of trial and error. And then in terms of the herbal remedies, you're very passionate about that as well. Hence the garden being your pharmacy, as in FARM, not PH. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and just, elaborate a bit on that?
Okay, well, I've planted out an incredible diversity of plants on my property. And of those, a number of them are medicinal. Now, I'm not studied in that area, so I'm actually not an expert, but it's here. I know it's useful. So I bring the experts on and they help me to figure out how to use it. But recently I was in hospital, had an abscess, and I used aloe vera, and it was amazing. It brought me through the process. So aloe vera is one of them. Cancer bush, another one. There is just remedy after remedy that's sitting right in front of us that generally people will run off to the pharmacy before they even access it out of their garden. So that's, do the research. Look at, because the quick fix is not always the best fix. And in this case, the natural remedies brought me through a critical illness.
So, Krag, I just want to go back to your personal journey with your diabetes and curing yourself and actually eating whole foods and healing yourself in the process. Can we just chat a bit about that?
Yeah. Look, it started when I was a teenager, actually. I was, 12 years old. I started reading health books, and my whole family was changing their mind on how to cure themselves. My dad had gone in hospital and got a kidney transplant, which was a huge thing back then. And so that set me on this course. So I've been into health foods for 40 years, but still I was on a high carb diet, and I didn't know that, so I got sick in about 2005, and this is part of the process of changing my overall lifestyle. Okay, and so I see the food component of curing yourself to be about maybe it's 30%, maybe it's 60%, and then the rest is in our mind. So that was the other thing I have been working on mental skills for 20 years with a daily practice, but still, it's incremental. If you change several parts of your lifestyle, you're going to end up winning. You cannot help but win if you change a whole bunch of different little things about your lifestyle. So food and the herbal part is one portion of that total change.
That's very true. I mean, we're so much more than just bodies, aren't we? We're also a mind, a spirit, a soul. So I totally agree with that. And then just in terms of healing your gut and actually feeding your brain by eating whole, nutrient-dense foods. I know you've got a beautiful garden here. Can you just chat me through that as well?
Well, everyone may have heard, or you may have heard, that your gut is your second brain. Yeah. And then I have friends which outright contest that, and they say it's your first brain because you have 60 or 80% of your neurons are in your gut. I mean, what about that? So, and then the more recent information is that our bacteria are actually dictating our own immune system. So we have a lot of work to do. It turns out that our gut is a garden and our brain is a garden. So we need to do a lot of daily work on both of them. So we'll have an event this weekend where we promote a whole bunch of fermented foods, but in the garden, the whole foods that are coming out of here. So there's a term, plot to plate. How close is so we basically harvest it, and within a few hours it's on our dinner table. And in addition to that, I've worked on the soil, brought cubes and cubes of nutrients in. So I'm hoping that this is some of the best soil that you can get. And so we're getting a very nutrient-dense food off of the soil. So generally it comes down to, at a good portion of the year, we eat about 30 or 40% out of our garden. And then when times get, like during the summertime, we'll get down to about 10%. But still, at least we're able to eat something out of our garden during the drier parts of the year.
Absolutely.